Ghost Cities. This isn't about haunted cities, despite the title. And a wonderful film, Spirited Away, would be the one to watch if you like ghost cities in the paranormal context. But this is about real cities. Well, I say real cities because that's what they look like on the face of it. My starting point for this was finding out about huge uninhabited cities that were built in China and never used. Seeing vast towns and cities across places like Russia, Japan and the Middle East. They look like the future of all those places. And when you look around the world, there is a lot of abandoned ones. For various reasons apparently. Financial collapses, disasters, a change in times and fortunes. Ancient and modern alike, apparently we are prone to the same predisposition for grandeur, opulence and wastefulness. But of these cities dotted around the world, I sometimes thought they looked like they might have been used as movie sets, and thought no more about it. Until certain propaganda videos started making their way over from China at the start of the pandemic. I grew up not knowing much about that place, understanding it was shut off from the rest of the world for hundreds of years, from 1434, apparently opening back up again in 1979. Although if you start to look at history, it can get confusing, as the Silk Road carried on until 1453, and there were a couple of opium wars in between as well. So although shut off, kind of still trading and doing business here and there when it suits. So just the population in general shut off then. Back to the propaganda videos, the start of which was people just dropping like flies in the streets, used by the media over here to whip people into a terrified frenzy as best they could, to enforce the idea that there is something in the air that you can't see that could kill you. The air, something that you have to have and is all around you. Very clever, I thought, having given much thought already to fear, its uses and why people would want to use it against someone or for an advantage. Taking something routine and everyday you can't avoid and putting fear around it, as I've talked about in my previous article, Don't Fall Asleep. But the idea of cities with no people, sat around just waiting for a purpose, didn't go away. Then I thought about how easy it would be to have that city full when needed, of either actors or unsuspecting people who think it's a normal city like any other, because they know no other. Truman Show-esque style. It is not out of the realm of possibility that they would have that type of thing at their disposal. Public opinion and consumerism seems to be extremely important to them, and having control over them. And through the means of psychology, the depth approach, technology and marketing and propaganda, they have worked out exactly what they need to do to get the desired results. And if it looks like they won't get them with everyone, they will cheat and make it look like they did. Even now, we have well-placed, strategic leaked videos showing what they want you to see. Every damn time. And even some of what we have deemed as false flag events. These get confused by some thinking they are faked events, whereas my understanding is that they are not faked at all. They are orchestrated and appear as a massacre by a lone individual or small group on a mission, or with such a deep cause within them it compels them to act. So often the casualties would have to be real, the location real, the perpetrator real. But you can switch any of those for one to be conveniently placed, or faked, or manipulated to carry out such acts or react to them. They can fake entire lives on the screen, so if you haven't met these people, you will never know for sure. And there used to be a time where it would be said, don't believe what they say, believe what you see. Well, that isn't quite as it used to be anymore with technology, graphics, drones, CGI, robotics, and animatronics. So much can be manipulated. The patents held for other intrusive technologies are also concerning, and ones they delight over. Of being able to get inside your head, and further down the lines they want to put chips directly into your brain system, so they can literally be in your thoughts, studying them, scanning them, deciding them ultimately. Sounds more than creepy, doesn't it? And it is. Like an obsessed entity that cannot deal with individualism, that wants to assimilate you into their central processing centre, so you can be a drone for them, feeding them your subconscious thoughts, while they feed you whatever they want to. And then it becomes a self-sustaining cycle, a codependency of sorts, but not a healthy one. Makes me think of the Borg in Star Trek, and of the strangers in Dark City, covered a bit in my article, The Hive. We are a visual creature, and although attached to an animal, we use a saying for humans as well. Monkey see, monkey do, and it's not hard to see the root of it. We learn well by observing others, usually. picking up useful things throughout our life, watching to see how it's done, then trying it ourselves, which has served us well, but it's quite possible that it is now being used against us for purposes of control. We are shown what is happening to people if they disobey or step out of line, just as they did here too during the propaganda drive, showing you people being excessively fined or in distress in the hospitals, being stopped from doing normal things and living. And in my mind that achieved two things at once, killing two birds with one stone as the saying goes. It instantly causes a divide, because some people would have taken the instant fear route and wanted to avoid any scrutiny and indeed the threatened punishment, while others realised the stupidity of it all and the dangerous slippery slope it would lead to, also knowing the punishments were just the old carrot and stick methods, to try and bribe you with the carrot and then hit you with the stick kind of thing. Psychological warfare with an overtone of brutality, which is exactly what they have created with the strategic timing of video leaks, articles, daily press conferences, death stats and all sorts of other continuous tactics they used. Nudge nudge and the 3Ds of conversion under coercion covered those too. They have thrown everything at this, they really have, which is why I do think it's not too outrageous to believe that there could be towns and cities built for purpose and used as such, just not the purpose we might have thought they were for.